If it's OPC, we've got it covered. Welcome to OPC Expert Plugged In, where we break down the tech and tackle real-world challenges. Let's dive in.
Ever felt like you're just drowning in industrial automation data, like you're trying to troubleshoot, but all the systems speak different languages? It's a real challenge.
Oh, absolutely. You've got legacy systems, new systems,
Mm.
all generating critical data, but making sense of it all together. That's the tricky part.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of what we're digging into today. There's this tool, OPC Viewer. It's actually a feature inside OPC Expert.
Right.
And we're basically going to, take a look under the hood, see what it does. This isn't a sales pitch, just what is it?
Exactly. Think of OPC Viewer as a window into your OPC data, letting you see it, understand it, and crucially troubleshoot it.
Okay, and OPC itself is like that universal translator for machines, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It lets
Yeah.
different devices communicate. And the neat thing about OPC Viewer is that it speaks, well, all the important OPC dialects.
All of them, like the old ones too.
Yep. OPC Classics, that's DA for your live data, A&E for alarms and events, HDA for the historical stuff, and also the newer OPC UA standards. So UADA, UAANC, which is alarms and conditions, and UAHA for historical access. It covers the board.
Huh. So if OPC is the language, OPC Viewer is like the one interpreter who knows all the different regional accents, sort of.
That's a really good analogy, actually. Yeah. You're not juggling different tools for different OPC types
Because that happens a lot, right? You find plants with a real mix of gear.
all the time. Old, new, different vendors. So having one tool that can, talk to everything is a big plus. OPC Viewer really aims for that universal compatibility.
Okay, so it's the interpreter, but what's it actually interpreting? It's not just throwing raw numbers at you, is it? Because that's not always helpful.
Definitely not. I mean, yes, seeing the real-time data subscribing to those live values, that's core. You need that for monitoring.
Sure.
But OPC Viewer goes quite a bit further. Think about troubleshooting. When things go wrong, you get an error, but it's often cryptic, right?
Well, yeah. Like trying to read tea leaves sometimes.
Exactly. So one of the key things about OPC Viewer is its advanced diagnostics.
Okay. What makes them advanced?
Well, when you hit a communication snag, which happens, right? It doesn't just say error. It often gives you a pretty detailed description of what the error is.
Ah, okay.
And even better, a lot of the time it suggests potential solutions, things to check, settings to adjust.
Right. So instead of just it's broken, it's like it might be breaking because of this. Try checking that.
Precisely. Imagine digging through log files for hours versus having the tool point you towards, say, a decom setting or a specific configuration issue. That saves, well, potentially hours of downtime.
Yeah, that sounds incredibly useful. Massive time saver. Okay, what about all the alarms and events constantly firing off?
Good question. That's where its A&E and OPC UA ANC support comes in. It lets you subscribe to those alarm and event servers and see what's happening.
Okay.
But crucially, you don't want to be flooded. So it has customizable filters. You can tell, look, only show me the critical alarms or only alarms from this specific area.
So you cut through the noise.
Exactly. Focus on what actually needs your attention right now.
Makes sense. Now, looking back, historical data that's essential for trends, for compliance. How does OPC Viewer handle that?
It connects to historical data sources using both OPC HDA the classic way and the newer OPC UAHA. So you get that view into the past performance.
Right, so you've got the live view and the historical view accessible in like the same place.
Pretty much, yeah. It bridges that gap between now and then.
Okay. Now, navigating these systems, sometimes just finding the tag you want can feel like a quest.
Uh-huh. They've tried to make that easier. The interface uses interactions you already know from your computer. Dragging and dropping items, double-clicking to browse deeper, right-clicking for context menus.
So less like specialized industrial software and more like, I don't know, Windows Explorer or something.
Kind of, yeah. The aim is to make finding and subscribing to OPC items feel more intuitive. Less like you need a manual for every click.
So boiling it down, it sounds like it's really about making complex industrial data easier to see, easier to understand, and easier to fix when things go wrong.
That's the core idea, yeah. Turning that potential overload of data into clear insights and actionable information across all sorts of OPC systems. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into OPC Viewer. We hope you found it informative and maybe even a little inspiring.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time.
See you all next time.